What is going on, everybody? What is going on, the Catch fam? Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday. Excited as ever to be here with you guys. You already know what time it is, baby. Another live 2022 fantasy football mock draft. We are drafting through ESPN tonight. Gonna hop into a 12-man mock. I'm gonna go ahead and find one that you guys can hop into as well if you would like so. And yeah, you guys know the drill. Hit the like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button on the way in. Hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping in. Let me know how everyone is doing. All right, so I'm going to find one at 1025. Here's a PPR 12-team standard format. We should be good to go here. All right, I'm not going to look at the screen. And I got slot 7. Okay. Let me join, edit my team name. And let's see. That way you guys can find me and join tonight's mock draft. Had a phenomenal subscriber mock draft last night. Had an absolute blast with you guys. We got Steven in the building. It was a good time. Appreciate you guys who got to hang out and draft last night, or those of you who just came out and hung out for a little bit. Let's go Mickey Mouse tonight. Yeah, let's do it. There we go. Okay, so look for Mickey Mouse. Look for all caps, the Catch, 12-man. H2H points PPR mock. All right. We already got Derek in the building. What up, man? What's going on, bro? Appreciate you being here. I know Andrea's probably going to hop in here as well. If you guys want to draft, we got about 2.5 minutes until this thing kicks off. Just look for beginner 12 team and then look for my name at pick 7. And this will probably start to fill up pretty quickly in the next 2 minutes. So you guys do want to draft, make sure you go ahead and hop in. Next week, starting Sunday, we are running a mock draft, a subscriber mock draft every single night. I'm super excited for that. And basically how that's going to work is I'm just going to hop on, have a mock draft started in Sleeper, and then send out the link in the chat. So we're going to have a ton of mock drafts next week. I'm super excited, and my goal is to have all those filled with you guys, filled with the Catch fam, with our subscriber base here at the Catch, and hopefully get some new heads to hop in and be able to join in real time, and it should be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. So all right, we've got 1.5 minutes. We've got a couple slots still open. So like I said, if you guys want to join, look through the beginner 12 teams starting at 10:25, and then look for my name. I'm at pick 7. All right, we got Andrea in here. Let's go. Andrea at Andrea pick 10, Derek at pick 12, myself at pick 7. We've got 5 slots open in a minute to fill them. And if not, we'll just roll with some computer picks. I do feel like ESPN does a little bit of a better job in terms of the overall auto selections as compared to like Yahoo. I feel like is definitely picking defenses and kickers in like the 5th round, which is never what we want to see. So we'll see. This has got about 30 seconds. We might have a couple auto picks tonight, but that's okay. We'll get through it. All right, man. That's the goal with next week is to have, 6 mock drafts in a week with no auto picks, all subscribers, all the way through, and then Friday night we'll do an underdog draft, which I would basically put in that same exact category. That, of course, you guys can join with me, but even if you guys don't, we'll definitely have realistic draft selections all the way through. So I'm excited for next week. I'm going to start ramping up the fantasy content from an upload perspective as well. And it's fantasy time. It's summertime. It's June 2nd. Let's go. All right, let's enter the draft. Let's get this thing rolling. Pretty much got all the way filled up, so we should be good to go. Be kicking off in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds here. So hop in the live chat, man. Let me know how everyone's doing. No real crazy NFL news today. We're still kind of in that overall slow period as we kind of start to approach training camp around the corner. Let me make sure I turn off the sound. So, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick retiring is probably the biggest news we've had all week. Shout out to the GOAT, Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, retiring. I mean, come on, you gotta love Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? Alec Mack also retired from the Niners. Great offensive lineman. Frank Gore signing a one-day contract with the 49ers to retire as a 49er. So, a couple of retirement stories. But other than that, nothing very relevant in terms of fantasy football. But, hey, it's coming. It's right around the corner. And I'm excited for it. Andrea, love him 100%. Gotta love Fitzmagic. I almost want to get a Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey, to be honest. Smokey, oh, missed it by a minute. I'm sorry, man. I wish you could join as one of these auto picks. Yeah, we got 2 auto picks. I'm sorry, man. Would have loved to have you tonight, bro. Derek Fitzmagic retiring. Salute, my guy. That's the GOAT right there. That's the true Buccaneers GOAT. All right, kicking off in a minute here at pick 7. I'm excited. Gonna be another good mock draft. So yeah, next week the plan for me, I'm gonna try and have an upload every single day through June. Well, obviously June has already started, but through the first full week of June, because this week was kind of weird. You know, it was half May, half June. But I'm gonna try and have an upload prepared for you guys every single week. Excuse me, every single day of the week. And on top of that, you know, at least for the first week, going to try and do subscriber mock draft every single day. And then, you know, we'll kind of bounce around after that. We'll probably ramp up the subscriber mock drafts. But we'll still have nights where I just hop on and, you know, run one mock draft that, you know, if you guys want to join, you know, through another platform, whether it be ESPN, Yahoo, Fantasy Pros, whatever it may be, you guys can hop in. But I do like to get, you know, some different ADPs sprinkled in, and, you know, different formats and websites sprinkled in. We still haven't drafted through Fantasy Pros or NFL, so we should probably do that at some point. But I'm excited, man. We got a lot coming around the corner. We'll have a small announcement next week as well for the channel. I'm a little excited about, but just a small announcement, nothing crazy. So we'll announce that Wednesday night when Steven's here for the subscriber mock draft as well. All right, CMC goes at 1. Wasn't that an auto pick? That's weird. Okay. CMC goes 1. JT going 2. No surprise if JT falls out at 1. I think 9 out of 10 people are going to definitely take him at 2. Probably 99.9% of people will. So 2 running backs to start the draft. CMC, a little bit of a surprise there. We'll see what happens here. Cooper Kupp goes at 3. Team L. Uh-oh. Team L goes Austin Eckler. For me, I'm looking for a running back. I'm looking for Najee Harris at pick 7. We'll see what happens. Jamar Chase goes at 5. We'll see. I mean, JJ sitting here. Derrick Henry sitting here. I would say those are the more, yeah, I mean, there goes JJ. So really, you could argue for Derrick Henry here. You could argue for Najee Harris. I don't know if I would personally make an argument for Debo at 7. I like him closer to 12 or 13, but honestly, I would, you know, if I'm going to draft Debo, it's probably going to be 15 after. I'm not as high on Debo as a lot of people are, but I'll go Najee here. Derrick Henry would be a great pick there as well, but I'll go Najee to take a little bit more youth. But hey, no knock on my boy Derrick Henry whatsoever. All right, so Derrick Henry goes at 8. Dalvin Cook goes at 9. We got Andrea on the clock. Yeah, Smokey, I'm sorry I missed you, bro. Truly sorry. All right, Devontae Adams goes. Team 11 goes Debo. At least we only have 2 auto picks. And honestly, I mean, it's still going to go by ranking, so it'll be pretty realistic still. Derek on the board with the back-to-back picks. Stephon Diggs to end the first round. A solid first round there. A lot of receivers. A lot of receivers. Joe Mixon as Derek's RB1, and Stephon Diggs is your wide receiver 1. Those are two beautiful selections right in a row. So Joe Mixon to start the second. Kamara goes at 14. We've got Andrea on the clock at 15. Going Leonard Fournette. Good value there. James Conner goes at 16. Man, I might go double running back tonight. I might try and switch it up. I've been sticking to the same exact strategy on a consistent basis. I might switch it up tonight. Because I feel like the past like 3 or 4 drafts, we've picked an RB1, then we've picked Tyreek Hill. And that's, if I don't go Hill here, it's probably CeeDee Lamb. So, but honestly, I'm not in love with these running backs here as my RB2. Let's switch it up. Give me a tight end, baby. Give me Mark Andrews. Why not? Let's switch it up tonight. I'm going to go light receiver and see what happens. Here goes Aaron Jones. I'm gonna play around. No strategy tonight. I'm going to go for some upside. I mean, I do want to reiterate that bounce back method between running back and receiver that we've been doing for the most part the past like 2 or 3 weeks now is really the strategy that I think works the best at this point in the offseason. That can change at any point in time, but we've been doing that almost every single night. So I think tonight and tomorrow night, when I do our weekly underdog draft, I'll switch it up a little bit, see what happens. I said that last week when we drafted through Underdog, and I did the exact opposite. I just the players that were landing to me that I was going for upside with happened to be running back, receiver, and switching between. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night, but I'm going to try and switch it up tomorrow night too. Smokey, heard my boy Najee gained 12 pounds this offseason. You think this helps, hurts, or makes no influence in his production? I think it makes no difference. I think he'll be able to cut back by the time the regular season starts and by the time preseason starts at that. I'm not reading into that too much. To finish out the second here, we got Aaron Jones, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Monty, Travis Kelce, and Javonte Williams as we move into the third with Keenan Allen. But yeah, Smokey, I'm not worried about it whatsoever. I'm really just not. You got to think too, a lot of these players bulk up in the offseason, then they cut back as the regular season approaches. So I don't think he's going to be Eddie Lacy 2.0 or anything. I think it's just that point in the offseason where things are quiet. People are looking for things to talk about, like Treylon Burks struggling early in OTAs and things like that, in terms of conditioning, or Najee Harris gaining some weight in the offseason. Like, I'm not going to read into it too much. I'd be a little bit more concerned if it was like a week before the regular season and, he was up 20 pounds or something. But you also have to imagine with pro athletes, like, you can gain 12 pounds and it can be a really good 12 pounds to gain, It could be 12 pounds of muscle. So, I'm not reading into it too much. I'm still a big believer in Najee as a top 5 back next year. And that's where I'm at, man. And that's your boy. Don't let it concern you too much. All right, so let's see here. I'm going for Nick Chubb at pick 31. I do think he's the best running back available. I think he's been the best running back available probably since DeAndre Swift was selected. And we'll see if he goes here or not. But you got to put an asterisk. If you're doing an ESPN mock draft at this point in the offseason, you got to put a little asterisk if you get Nick Chubb. I would say past the second round. I mean, in most of our subscriber mock drafts, he's going mid-second, sometimes beginning of the second round. And there he goes, of course, one selection before I pick. So that's okay. Let's go ahead and take Zeke off the board. Let's just go with another running back. I'm going to go heavy running back, early QB, early tight end, and light receiver and see what happens tonight. Just a little bit of a different strategy just to shake things up. But anytime I start talking about picking a player in a mock draft, right before my selection is available, they get selected. So you guys should be used to seeing that by now. But I'm happy with Zeke as an RB2 behind Najee Harris. I got no beef with that. So To finish out the third round here, we got a little run on receiver: Higgins, A.J. Brown, Metcalf, and Waddle, with J.K. Dobbins sprinkled in there. To start the fourth round, Derek's going Michael Pittman, followed by DJ Moore. Andrea on the clock at the moment. We'll see what happens. I'm going to eye another running back at pick 42 as Andrea selects Kyle Pitts. Could go QB here as well. But I think I'd rather just stick with this heavy running back mentality. Breece Hall's fine. I'd personally rather pay a little bit of a lower price for Michael Carter. So we'll go Elijah Mitchell here. I like ETN here as well. But we'll go with Mitchell. And then we'll look for a QB at 55. I don't think Josh Allen's going to be available. And we might even go double tight end. We might just really get crazy tonight. Really ignore the receiver position and see who we end up with. And just load up at every other position, and then just select complete flyers at receiver and see how much it pains us. That's basically what I did last season in my personal league. And if you select the right late round receivers, a zero wide receiver strategy can really pay off. You know, if you selected Jamar Chase and even Cooper Kupp a little bit, not as late, but then, you know, Mike Williams, who just got selected, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, like they were Michael Pittman. I mean, think about if you just selected Mike Williams, Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, and Deontay Johnson as your 4 receivers, and you loaded up at running back and drafted an early tight end and QB last season. You know, like obviously you have to hit on the right guys, and it's a big gamble. And that's basically the strategy that I did last year in my personal league, and I did not draft the right late round receivers, but it can pay off. And, you know, last season was definitely a season that proved that you got to have either depth at running back, or you have to be prepared to play the waiver wire on a weekly basis and be aware of who is injured and who's not, and who's going to have the potential to be an RB1 for the week. And hopefully we don't see that again this coming season, but it's definitely a realistic possibility as well. All right, let's see what happens here. Breece Hall's off the board. And there's still plenty of good receivers. Like, I would consider Deontay Johnson and Brandon Cooks wide receiver 1s as Johnson gets selected. Amon-Ra St. Brown's off the board. Chris Godwin's off the board, but I mean, Amari Cooper, Darnell Mooney, Hollywood Brown to start the season, those are all wide receiver 1s. Cooks just got selected. He's a wide receiver 1. Michael Thomas, you could argue, wide receiver 1, you know. And we're in the 5th round, right? So we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the draft. But let's see here. We're into the 5th as Justin Herbert gets selected. Patty Mahomes is available. I'm going to go ahead and take my boy, A.J. Dillon. Call it a reach. We're loading up at running back tonight. There goes Mahomes. There goes Coop. I wanted Herbert or Allen if they fell to me. We just missed Herbert. So I'll take another running back. In my opinion, the best running back available, too. So we're just getting a little bit crazy tonight, boys and girls. We're just we're going to ignore the receiver position and see what happens. It's probably going to get ugly. We're probably not going to like this team, but it's going to have a lot of upside in other areas. So, not the typical strategy I've been conducting. Not exactly what I recommend, but we're going to see what happens tonight. We're going to have some fun. Probably a better method in like a best ball league, but good thing here is, you know, it's just a mock draft. And that's what these are for, to play around different strategies and see what you come out with. I'm going to pick a QB here. Take Kyler Murray. Yeah, I'm going to get all kinds of crazy tonight. How many running backs can I draft? 8? I might draft 8 running backs. Probably not. That might be a little bit too much. All right. I think I do want a second tight end on this squad, though. I don't know why. I mean, I do have... I'm going to go double QB. I'm going to literally draft like 2 receivers. I don't know why I'm doing this, so don't ask me. But we're having fun tonight. We're messing around a little bit. See what we come out with. Let's take a look at receiver as we approach the 7th round, and I have none on my team. Still some decent receivers hanging around. We'll see what happens. I might have to go, realistically, I might have to go receiver at 79. It might be getting to that point. But we've got a stud running back room, Najee Harris, Ezekiel Elliott, Eli Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, Mark Andrews at tight end, and then our boy Kyler Murray at QB. We're actually looking pretty solid. We just had no receivers. All right, so let's see here. After my selection of Murray, we saw Miles Sanders, Jerry Jeudy, Hunter Renfrow, Tyler Lockett, Rashad Penny, and Jalen Hurts off the board. To the 7th round, we got Hawkinson, Juju, and Dak Prescott off the board. Look at QB. It's starting to thin down just a little bit there. There goes Burrow. Kind of thinking about going for Burrow. I might not draft a second QB. We'll see what happens. Probably going to go receiver here. Be Drake London. Andrew, I know someone does that, takes wide receiver in 7. Yeah, it can definitely pay off. It's just very risky. Very, very risky overall. Like, Drake London's my wide receiver 1. That would make me so nervous. We have no idea what to expect from him. Can obviously garner a ton of targets in his rookie season, but it's just super risky. So we're going to play a little bit risky tonight. Goes Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. Yeah, QB is basically, I mean, A-Rod or Stafford at 90 if I really want a second QB. And I do think, I've said this all offseason, Kyler Murray is one QB that I would definitely consider taking a second QB with. Given that injury history, given how he performs in the second half of the season compared to the first half, I do think he is someone worth considering drafting a second QB with a little bit more stability, whether it's an Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, or even a Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr in later rounds. Man, I was really hoping. I mean, it's a good pick there, Andrea, to go and snag up Devonta Smith. But honestly, if I started this draft with Drake London and Devonta Smith, I wouldn't be that upset at the receiver position. All right, so for me right here, it's between Adam Thielen and Allen Robinson. I like both quite a bit, but I'll go Thielen here. I think both are great options. Christian Kirk, a good option as well. All right, so we went ahead and finally drafted some receivers. And there goes Allen Robinson. And we're kind of just taking kind of late round flyers at the receiver position for the rest of the draft. And that's all we can really do. Because this thing got ugly quickly. All right, so we'll sit back and see what happens here. A little bit of a run on QB to end the 7th. Russell Wilson and Tom Brady off the board. Into the 8th, we've seen Treylon Burks, Rashad Bateman, Devonta Smith, Garrett Wilson, Damon Harris, Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Brandon Ayuk, Chase Edmonds, and Dallas Goedert off the board. So at this point, we really can't do anything. Like I know I was saying maybe I'll go double tight end, double QB, like keep loading up, maybe get another running back sprinkled in there, but realistically, we probably need to not do so. Because there is a small tier of receivers left, in my opinion, that could really, really show out in terms of being true wide receiver 1s, or at least wide receiver 2s with a lot of upside. So there goes Aaron Rodgers. If Rodgers fell to 103, I would take him. But we'll see what happens here. We probably need to go with another receiver and probably need to keep an eye on tight end. As much as I like Mark Andrews, I don't think it would hurt to get second tight end on this team, get a little bit of upside as well. So we'll see what happens here. All right, so Kadarius Toney goes to start the 9th round. Let me know in the chat, how would you guys feel about Drake London and Adam Thielen as your primary receivers on your fantasy squad next season? There goes Christian Kirk, good value there, 99. Matthew Stafford, good value at 98. And Stafford still a top 10 QB in fantasy last season, coming in at QB 6, at least through ESPN's rankings. Yeah, I probably have to go receiver here, right? I don't think there's any way. I don't know. Andrew says, I think all right. I'm going to go running back. Come get me another one. Give me Melvin Gordon. Najee Harris, Zeke, Eli Mitchell, AJ Dillon, Melvin Gordon. It's a little bit crazy in here. It's a little bit crazy in here. Derek London is straight. Thielen I'd be scared with. That's probably fair. On absolute fire last season until he got hurt, but that's the big issue. He got hurt, right? Andrea says, I think all right. I think I agree. Like, and I understand the fear there too, Derek. I don't disagree with, but it's still not bad. If we had landed Devonta Smith as that second receiver, I mean, I think that would really change things. All right. I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to go tight end. We're going to see what 4 receivers we can finish with and maybe a QB. Damian Pierce, Tyler Algier, I'm not going to be able to draft you tonight. So we need to take a deep dive at the receiver position. A ton of upside at running back, upside at QB, upside at tight end, receiver on this team. Very weak as Derek Carr is selected. There goes James Robinson. I mean, I do think receiver is the position you can get the most upside and value at late in rounds. Like, you're definitely not going to find value at this point in the draft at running back. I mean, maybe some of those rookie guys, Algier and Pierce, right? But overall, receiver, you can at least you're still able to take chances on guys, right? It might get kind of boring here because Tyler Boyd's available, and he's probably my top target at the moment. Where maybe a guy like Mecole Hardman or MVS offers a little bit more upside. John Mechie is interesting. Allen Lazard is not a bad option. Jahan Dotson, like that's the thing. There's a lot of value at the position at this point in the draft, but you have to have a true wide receiver 1, which is why I think the strategy we've been running the past 2 to 3 weeks just makes so much more sense in terms of consistency through your roster. Like, this roster could pay off. You're gonna have running back depth. You're gonna have upside at tight end. You're gonna have Kyler Murray on your team. But at the same time, receivers just become so incredibly valuable in fantasy football, you know? All right, so let's go ahead and just make sure there's no, like, sleepers we want to miss. I mean, probably Kendrick Bourne's the only guy here. So, yeah, it got ugly. It got ugly in here. Real quick. Real quick. I mean, this team is just, it's different. It could pay off. You'd definitely be paying attention to the receiver position throughout the year. But outside of that, I mean, like, this team is quite loaded. So, all right, we'll sit back and see what happens as we're into the 11th round. Derek with a good pick there, getting Tyler Algier off the board. Allen Lazard, Kenny Golladay, Jahan Dotson, Trey Lance all off the board after my selection of Tyler Boyd. And we are moving into the 12th round. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Appreciate you guys being here talking fantasy. Appreciate you guys who were able to draft with me and hop in. Having a blast as always. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Come join the Catch family, man. And we are officially back on the clock. Okay. I'll go to the second QB here. Give me Kirk Cousins. Give me some stability behind Kyler Murray just in case of injury. And then we just have to draft receivers. I mean, there's really no other option here. I mean, you could argue that we probably shouldn't have gone Kirk Cousins. But like I said, we're going to try and go double tight end, double QB. Smokey, who would you prefer? Herbert and Juju or Hurts and Godwin? In terms of consistency, I think Herbert, I would probably take him over Hurts. But in terms of upside and adding that rushing advantage, it's definitely Hurts. And you guys know that I love me some Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's been my primary target since the regular season ended, you know. Godwin's going to miss a little bit of time. If he wasn't going to miss time, then it'd be no question for me. It'd be Hurts and Godwin. Juju is still kind of a question mark for me. Like, I like the upside. I like the potential that he's going to offer. But at the same time, I think I go Hurts and Godwin. I think I go Hurts and Godwin. Yeah, it's close. It's just we don't exactly know how Juju's going to show out in that offense. It looks good on paper, and I mean obviously there's a couple receivers on that team, man. I mean you got MVS, you got Hardman, you got Sky Moore, and you got Juju, you got Kelsey there as well. You got Ronald Jones and CH in the backfield. Like, you know, I don't know exactly how Juju fits in there, and I think he's worth where he's being selected in the fantasy mock drafts. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of the specific question, I go Hurts and Godwin. It's close, but I go Hurts and Godwin, even if Godwin's going to miss some time. All right, so for me here at 162, I'm either going George Pickens or Kendrick Bourne. If this was a real draft, I'd probably punt a kicker or defense and go for both these receivers. We'll go George Pickens tonight, but just note that I love my boy Kendrick Bourne. And then we'll pick a defense and kicker in tonight's draft. So try to switch it up for you guys a little bit tonight. We've just been conducting so many of those, so many mock drafts with that, what I call a bounce back strategy, going running back, receiver. Keep an eye on a tight end tier, maybe 2 tight end tiers, as well as 1 to 2 QB tiers, and drafting a tight end and QB when we feel like they are falling to us. And that strategy has been working phenomenally. I mean, we've been absolutely crushing these mock drafts lately, whether it's our subscriber mock drafts, whether it's through Underdog and the real best ball drafts, whether it's through kind of these random mock drafts. So I think that's the strategy I'm probably going to be going into 2022 with. But we're going to switch it up for you guys. Go a little bit early tight end. Get the first tight end off the board tonight. Go early QB. Get double QB, double tight end, and load up at running back and go 0 receiver. And this is what we ended up with. Kyler Murray at QB with Kirk Cousins as a QB 2. Mark Andrews tight end 1. Dawson Knox as a tight end 2. And let me pick a kicker or defense very quickly. We'll go Carlson. Our kicker 1 last season. Running back, we end up with Najee Harris, Zeke, Eli Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, and Melvin Gordon. So 5 running backs. 2 running backs in a committee approach that I think are going to get a lot of work in A.J. Dillon and Melvin Gordon. Perfect running backs to have on your bench. I believe in Eli Mitchell, especially as an RB3 on your roster. I'm fine with that. And then I still have faith in Zeke, man. I love him as an RB2. And then Najee Harris, one of my favorite RB1s to draft. So I like that running back room a lot. It doesn't really provide a ton of upside, I'll be honest, but I think it would provide a ton of consistency. So I like that running back room. So all the value here is at QB, running back, and tight end. Receiver, you're taking a gamble here. Like, I think the receivers on the bench, right? Tyler Boyd, Tim Patrick, we went with George Pickens, could have been Kendrick Bourne. Like, those guys offer nice flex consistency. And I think Tim Patrick is kind of underrated. I think he's going to have a really good season with Russell Wilson at the QB position. Tyler Boyd and Tim Patrick, probably my favorite wide receiver 3s. We've talked about them a lot here in the offseason. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers just provide, in terms of developing young receivers and rookie receivers, I think that George Pickens is going to have a lot of potential to really flourish. So we went Pickens tonight. Could have gone Kendrick Bourne. I like both options. And then as our primary receivers, we got Drake London, which could really pay off. It's a little bit of a gamble. I'm not the biggest fan of drafting a rookie wide receiver too early. It's just a little bit of a gamble. But within that offense, he should be garnering a lot of targets, even with Kyle Pitts and the addition of Bryan Edwards. And then Patty and Cheese moving around too, right? So it's a big gamble. There are a lot of people in the fantasy community willing to take Drake London, at least as a wide receiver 2 or 3, but having him as wide receiver 1, not as comfortable whatsoever. Thielen on absolute fire as a wide receiver 2 last season before he got hurt. So once again, I like Drake London. I like Adam Thielen, but I like them a lot more as a wide receiver 3, at worst a wide receiver 2. So Pat's defense, Daniel Carlson as our kicker. It was an interesting team. Like I said, tried to switch it up tonight. We ended up going running back, tight end, running back, QB, receiver, running back, tight end, receiver, QB, receiver, kicker, defense. Definitely not what we've been doing lately, but it is good to kind of switch it up from time to time and see what happens. So interesting team tonight. Try to switch it up for you guys. And like I said, it's a heavy running back, early tight end, early QB, kind of zero receiver strategy. I don't know what you guys think about this team overall, but it could pay off. There's just a lot of gamble involved here, and only time would be able to tell. All right, let's check out Derek's team, and then we'll check out Andrea's team as well. So, Deshaun Watson as your QB1, then Goff as your QB2. I mean, I don't hate Goff as a QB2, but you're still taking a gamble at this point in the offseason. We don't know if Watson's going to play, how long he's going to be out, what the suspension's going to look like, if he's going to play at all. We really don't know anything. So it's fine from a mock draft standpoint. We'll have a better answer by the time we're doing real drafts. So it's fine for now, but obviously you got to keep that in mind. But obviously loaded up at running back, receiver, and tight end before going QB. So let's take a look at running back. You got Mixon as your RB1. Love him leading the charge, leading your running back room. Walker, I know someone you've been a big fan of in the offseason, so I'm fine with that. Singletary, Cook, Algier, Madison. So you do have some question marks around some of these guys on the bench, but you just need one of these guys to step up behind Joe Mixon. This team would be a 3-receiver set in terms of the flex. So I do believe out of the running backs you drafted, someone would step up and be able to play as an RB2, and you'd probably end up with a RB3 who could be played in the flex. But looking at your receivers, definitely the strong point of this team. I mean, Diggs, Waddle, Pittman, just to start, a ton of upside in Treylon Burks. Then DPJ has really been your late-round receiver here throughout a lot of the mock drafts we've been conducting. So some nice upside there as well, especially if Watson is able to play, and they do end up with a nice deep ball connection. So, but honestly, I mean, Diggs, Waddle, and Pittman probably be who you're starting unless Burks really breaks out and starts to give you more of an advantage over those other 3 starters you got there. Dalton Schultz on your home team, the Cowboys, very solid tight end 1. Still being underrated at this point in the offseason, but finished in the top 6 at tight end position. I think top 5 last season. So it's a good team. We got a little bit of a gamble at QB. And then I'm not too upset about the running back room, but I think you would agree you'd probably have to really be paying attention to matchups as well as the waiver wire. But honestly, like I said, as long as one of those running backs steps up, you'd be fine. The focus is receiver, and you still got a top 5 tight end. Chargers defense provides a lot of upside. McManus, a nice pick at kicker, especially with how that offense has evolved in the off season. So a good draft overall, and I feel like you shifted away from what you usually do for the most part, and you drafted some players you don't usually draft. So probably good practice for you tonight as well. All right, Andrea, let's see. We got Russell Wilson at QB, Justin Fields as a QB2. So I don't have a problem with that. Nice little upside late round pick. But I would definitely keep Fields as a QB2 like you did. And Russell Wilson completely fine as your QB1. Running backs, we got Fournette, Dobbins, ETN, Pollard. So 4 running backs. And good value at the running back position all the way through this draft. I would be, in a 12-man, I would be happy with those 4 running backs. Maybe try and go for one more, maybe over a Kenny Golladay or even an Albert O. But at the same time, 4 good running backs and a good running back room. If you really wanted to, you could have drafted another one. And looking at the receivers, right? Adams, got nothing bad to say. Mooney, I got nothing bad to say as well. Devonta Smith, Russell Gage. Like those 4 receivers, you got at really good value. That's a really solid start to this team. I'm not personally high on Kenny Golladay. It's too much of a gamble for me. I like the selection of DJ Chark where you got him. Once again, really good value. I personally, instead of going Golladay here, I probably would have gone with another, maybe a rookie running back or a flyer at running back. Golladay is probably the only player on this roster that I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of Justin Fields either, but if you wanted a second QB, you want to go for some potential late round sophomore upside, then I'm fine with that. But if you have the conviction in Golladay, then I got no problem with it. Rams defense and Justin Tucker, good value picks there. I mean, obviously Tucker going to be a monster for you all season long. The Rams defense really didn't play as well as they were supposed to on paper last year. Played a little bit better towards the end of the season into the playoffs, at least from a pass rush standpoint. But at the same time, they weren't great from a fantasy perspective, and they were supposed to be like the number 1 defense going into the season. So just keep that in mind. But still, I mean, it's not like you went out and reached for them or anything, so I think it's a fine selection. So yeah, I think it's a good team, and I think you got really good value at running back and receiver throughout the draft. And you got a great tight end and a great QB. This is a good team. Good draft tonight, both Derek and Andrea. So there you go. Another beautiful 2022 fantasy football mock draft in the books. We're still kind of keeping a little bit relaxed. up until Sunday. And then we're going to really, really hop into the fantasy off season. I mean, we've already been ramping up the content throughout the past month and a half. But like I said, guys, next week, starting Sunday, subscriber mock draft every single night. Probably going to be different times. But I'm just going to hop on, let you guys know when I'm on, throw the sleeper invite into the chat, and let you guys join one by one until we get at least 10 people. There might be one night or so where we do an 8-man draft. Might be good practice for those of you who do play in an 8-man, and there are people out there who want to see 8-man drafts. I'm fine with that, but for the most part, we're going to try and get 12-man drafts going every single day, Sunday through Saturday, except for Friday, where we're going to be conducting our weekly Underdog draft, and of course you guys can join that as well. So I'm super excited. I'm going to try and have a lot of content in the morning for you guys, different uploads next week as well. So I'm excited, man. It's that time of the year. It's fantasy season. I'm so excited. We've been waiting all. I mean, this offseason has truly gone by so fast. So I'm just excited. Derek, yeah, try to change it up a bit. Thanks, bro. 100%, man. Andrea, Kenny's your sleeper pick. Hey, I'm good with that. If you got the conviction, go on and get him. It's a good team. I do think that you had a good enough running back room, good enough tight ends and QBs that you can go out and select that extra receiver. So it's a good draft. Nonetheless, and I'll never talk you guys out of those, late round picks or those players that you guys have that high conviction on. So I'm good with that. Smokey, I'll be on those most of the week, probably only missing Friday and Saturdays. No worries, man. No worries. I'm looking forward to it. Next week's going to be a ton of fun. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. So, yeah, we'll go and put this one in the books. Another great mock draft, another great stream with you guys. So you guys know what to do on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Come join the Catch fam on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Really, truly does help us out when you guys subscribe to the channel, become members of the Catch fam. Like I said, small announcement during next week's Wednesday night stream with Steven, so be on the lookout for that. And make sure you guys are on the Discord page, part of our Discord page, link in the description down below. Best way for you guys to get community updates, but also we're starting to get early details together for our 2022 Fantasy Football Leagues for the Catch family. So if you guys want to get in, you guys need to be on Discord, and starting to get an early head count as well. So yeah, that'll do it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys, love this community, love this channel, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. With that, I got nothing else to say, but thank you guys so much for watching and or listening, and remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And